am a trans pregnant man and I do exist, so no matter what anyone says, I literally am living proof.
Yeah, your existence is proving that only females can get pregnant. Congratulations, I guess. You're a trans guy, and it means that you're a female, so you're not proving that men can get pregnant.
Obviously, I've been off testosterone for a while due to some health issues, so just kind of had this really weird feeling, and I took the pregnancy test. It was like my whole world just stopped. All my manlyhood that I've tried to work hard for so long just completely felt like it was erased.
It totally makes sense you felt that way, because if you are a real transsexual, you would deal with gender dysphoria, and it would be the entire reason why you transitioned in the first place. So finding out you're literally pregnant must be the most dysphoric-inducing thing in the world. If I didn't get my ovaries and uterus removed, I would literally panic. There's nothing wrong with a woman getting pregnant. However, females with severe and chronic gender dysphoria can't really mentally handle it. There's a reason why we're on testosterone and got our breasts removed. We can't control what we're dysphoric about. If we could control our dysphoria, we wouldn't be here looking like the opposite sex, changing our whole lives.
It was really hard because how do you tell your partner, like, oh, I'm pregnant, but I'm also your boyfriend as well? So I was like lingering around them for ages. Like, I couldn't get the words out of my mouth to say it because it's just something that you just don't say as a man.
You're right, men don't say that because it's literally impossible for a biological male to get pregnant. But I get your point though, you look and sound like a guy, and if you weren't pregnant, society will treat you as a regular guy. So in this case, it does sound weird that someone who looks and sounds like a guy says that they're pregnant. What I have a hard time understanding is, how can you go through the pregnancy if you are truly a gender dysphoric female? If you went on testosterone because your voice made you too dysphoric, you got top surgery because your breasts made you feel too dysphoric, how can you go through a pregnancy, which is the most female thing you can do? You said it yourself, you felt like your manlyhood got erased.
So it took me ages to get to this point of being confident with who I am now and being a pregnant man and like saying that and, you know, all these things that I've started doing and educating people on it.
Listen, you're a pregnant woman. There's something so narcissistic and kind of sexist about saying that men can get pregnant too. You are a trans guy, a woman who transitioned, so you can live your life as a man, and because of your biology, and because you didn't get an abortion, you're pregnant. But then you feel the need to say, because of me, because of my experience, men can also get pregnant. The last thing I want to do is be honest about my biology. It's sexist because you're taking away women's experiences with being pregnant, giving birth, by claiming that men can also do those things. You claim that you're educating people on what it means to be you, a pregnant man, instead of accepting yourself as a trans guy, making the choice not to get an abortion. You don't need to do anything. Other people just have to understand you.
We recently moved houses and I had to change hospitals, and it's a much bigger hospital and I've not had the best experience. I've been misgendered by staff and no one's actually turned around to me and said, are you okay? Being pregnant in general is really, really difficult, but then all the things that come with it, like me being trans and stuff, no one's actually said, are you okay? Would you like some mental health support or anything like that? And I've been in there crying my eyes out.
I can't. Ya haram! Shu badak habibi. What do you want? Do you want a pacifier? A blankie? You made the decision to go through the pregnancy. You know that only women can get pregnant. You know that it is kind of weird to be in your situation. You sound and look like a guy, but you're a woman, right? And you're like visibly doing a female thing. The whole world is not gonna change for you just because you choose to be in a weird situation. I have experienced once a doctor misgendering me, calling me she. I don't want to get graphic or demonetized, but she was doing a checkup after I got my hysterectomy. And she had her fingers up in a certain body part that she associates with females, women. Same shit. She was quite busy and then she asked the nurse, does she have blah blah blah. I felt uncomfortable, of course I felt dysphoric, but I didn't care. Do you know why? Because I took the time to be understanding, not even sympathetic or empathetic. You don't even need those things in order to understand what's going on. This 50 or 60-year-old doctor has probably never, ever called someone he when doing a hysterectomy checkup, because only women get hysterectomies. Trans men also get hysterectomies, but they're women, and they're a very small minority. I'll bet you haven't said anything to these doctors. You just expected them to get it. Whatever that means. You refuse to understand, on purpose I want to add, that calling someone who's pregnant he and him, a man, not something anyone is used to, especially the doctors, gynecologists, but even if you have asked, can you please call me he and him? They might slip up because they're busy. Can you just imagine for 2 seconds? I feel stupid for saying this because of course you know. They're probably way too busy to walk around on eggshells, trying to please you 24/7, affirming your gender identity and validating your feelings. We all know that's not how the real world works. That's hard to say. Real world works. Got it. So how about respecting the staff, other people around you, and also respecting your pregnancy, the baby inside of you, because you obviously care more about yourself, how you feel when you're at checkups. Your pregnancy is about the baby. Yes, of course, it's also about your health. I get it. But you're not claiming they don't care about your health. You're complaining about their choice of words. Their job is to make sure that you're healthy, the baby is healthy and fine. Their job is not to affirm you, affirm your gender identity. Don't you worry, the trans community can fulfill those needs instead.
Some midwives get it and some midwives don't. With LGBTQ+, it shouldn't be optional for them to have that sort of training, it should be mandatory because we do exist. People are going in there, and if that's happened to me, how many more people is that going to happen to?
What are you talking about? What are you afraid other people might go through as well? What exactly did you go through? Girl, if you just stop acting like a victim 24/7, you wouldn't need any mental health support, whatever that means. Feeling like a victim is super mentally draining. But the good news is, you're not a victim. You're pregnant because you're a woman, therefore people will call you she. And if you think you need mental health support due to that, how on earth are you ready to have a baby? I said what I said. I can't with the narcissism because you feel uncomfortable, which probably, most likely, is a choice. About being treated as a woman because you're pregnant, you think it should be mandatory for doctors to be trained in talking to trans men. Ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The argument is, because we exist, it should be mandatory to give us special treatment. No, it shouldn't. I know it's not that common to see trans men giving birth, but trans men are women and that's not a new concept. So therefore, no special treatment, in my opinion.
You know, I've offered help and support of how we can make things better. I would just like a bit more support, and women at the minute feel like their rights are being taken away because people probably like me want the NHS to be more inclusive. I don't want women to be erased. It would just be nice for us to be more involved and not for me not to be referred as a woman, not to be referred as a female. You can just use a different terminology, and I think it's really important to be inclusive.
Something that I've noticed trans activists say a lot is, I just want people to be more inclusive. What it really means is, they don't have to do a goddamn thing, they're just gonna sit back and relax, but the whole world has to change. Everyone has to change the way they think and speak just to please trans activists. Trans activists refuse to acknowledge how the world works, how biology works especially. Most importantly, they refuse to respect people around them. Why? It's complicated. Believe it or not all trans activists are the same. They don't all have the same intentions. But what I do know is the trans community, the trans cult, attracts narcissistic people. And that's also why I say that most trans activists are not trans. Right, it's all about being more inclusive, and being inclusive is something that everyone has to be, even though the definition has changed, and now it means the complete opposite. Oh, you don't want to erase women? But you think the experience of carrying a child, bringing a child into the world, shouldn't be exclusive to women. There's a saying, don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. As I said, the most important thing is your health, your baby's health, your pregnancy going well, and it truly worries me you think that getting affirmed, getting your pronouns respected, is as essential as health. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support me and my work, my PayPal is in the description down below. You can also support me through locals.com or by becoming a member of this channel. I love you all and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.